Hey guys, it's Val. If it's your first time on my channel, welcome. A little bit about me. I am an American girl. I've been living in Spain for 4 years, and I just use this channel to share my experiences and everything about Madrid and everything about America and everything about Spain. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be sharing my top 10 shocks of when I come back to America every time. Things that just kind of, like when you travel, there's always culture shocks, I think is what people call it. Well, when I come back to America every time, there are these reverse culture shocks that happen. So I'm going to give you guys my 10 biggest reverse culture shocks that happen every time that I come back to America. I normally spend most of the year in Spain. Every year I either decide to come back for the summer or for Christmas break. So like from the beginning of 2020 to the end of 2020, I decide to come for summer. So right now I'm home for my summer vacation, and these are the top 10 biggest culture shocks that I had since coming back. The list of 10 things actually has no order to it. It's just, well, actually number 10 is the most shocking one that I feel like gets me the worst every single time. The rest of these, they're all equally shocking to me when I come back. And that takes me to number 1. Obviously, I'm in my car right now. I was just out and about, and I really wanted to get this video done today. So I'm just gonna do it while I'm in my car, because in America, so much time is spent in the car. Like, there's no public transportation. It's really weird to go like walking places. Like, people are like, you went walking? That's crazy. Like, if you're telling me that you went walking anywhere, that's like a freaking crazy thing to do. And then the thing also with the cars is that not only do you go everywhere in the car, but everybody in the family has their own car, typically. Also, disclaimer, I live in Pennsylvania in a county called Lancaster County. It's a very conservative area, and so a lot of this stuff may be different from state to state, but this has been my experience of America and where I grew up. I'm in the same place that I grew up in. Here, everybody has their own car. Like, the mom has their own car, the dad has their own car, then the kids have their own car, and people start driving at 16 years old. Not only are you in the highway with a lot of people, but you're also in the highway with 16-year-olds that have had their license for like 2 months, and it's a scary place to be. I'm just kidding, it's not that scary, but that's what's crazy, is because in Spain, nobody gets their license until they're 18 years old. In America, these kids, well, I only learned from my parents, and everybody only gets taught by their parents, but in Spain, everybody has to take driving classes, so it's a little bit more secure that everybody's going to be driving well. That's point number 1. Everything in the car. Also, what goes along with that is my step count goes so low every single time that I come back, because I go out of my house, I jump in my car, I go to where I'm going, I get out of the car, and then I get back in my car, and then I go to my house, and then I get out. So step count is like, I think in Spain, I nearly almost reach the 10,000 steps every single day. But here, I think it's like maybe 500 on a busy day. Number 2 is, if you are going to go walking, well, you cannot just assume that a crosswalk is your green light, because this was something crazy for me in Spain to realize that if you're gonna be in a crosswalk, just go for it. The cars will stop for you. They will slam on their brakes, and if they're going like 50 miles an hour, they will slam on their brakes and they will stop so you can cross. In America, the crosswalk is just, I think it's just a formality that has to be on the street. I don't even know really why they're there, because anytime that you go to cross the street, if there is like a street light, then you wait for the green light and then you go. But if there's not, you might be waiting on that sidewalk for 15 minutes before the traffic slows down, because the people just aren't going to stop for you. That's to number 3, butter. I don't have any other way to put it than just saying butter. Butter is in everything in America. Anytime I look up any sort of recipe, like any sort of normal recipe that's not vegan, that's not vegetarian or anything, it always has butter in it. And like, I've only been here for a month, but like, my body just needs olive oil. Like, Spain has gotten it so into my everything that olive oil is like the main ingredient for everything, that the butter and everything, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's on everything. Along with the butter comes number 4, more things about food. Anything about food is so different than it is in Spain. So we're gonna start with the first one. This actually isn't the point, but the first thing about food is like the schedule of eating. It doesn't actually bother me that much coming back to America and eating lunch at 12 and dinner at 5, because it goes like with my schedule. So that's why I'm not going to call it a shock, because it's really not that shocking. I think that the time schedule of eating just goes along with each culture's like schedule of the day. So coming back and doing lunch at 12 and dinner at 5 really isn't that complicated for me to do. It goes along with like my work schedule and everything. What is different is how the meal is like viewed. And for me, what's shocking is finishing a meal in 30 minutes or less. Like not even like by yourself. Obviously, if you're by yourself, you're gonna eat like super fast. But I'm talking like a sit down. You either go out to a restaurant or you sit down with your family sort of meal, and that meal is over in 30 minutes. Like, this is super hard for me to come back to and like do, because I got super used to, and I like the idea more of sitting down with your group of friends, sitting down with your family and spending a good chunk of time sitting there and eating with each other in conversation. But here it's like the idea of like sitting down for a meal is more, this is food time and we're just gonna eat, and we're just gonna like, after you're done eating, like it's over, like we're not gonna sit around and talk for a long time. But in Spain, it's like, even if you do this every single day with your family, your meal time's not gonna be just sit down for 30 minutes and just like eat and go super quickly. Which also takes us to point number 6. Number 6, this one really got me the other day. Like, it was like my second week back in America, and I was out at a restaurant with my family. I was like not even, maybe a little bit over halfway done with my meal when everybody else was finishing, and they all just started like, I don't know if we do this in Spain. I don't think that we do this in Spain. We don't. But in America, when you're finished with a meal at a restaurant, you like take your plates and like stack them up so that when the server comes, they don't have as hard of a time collecting the plates. So I was still eating and everybody started like stacking their plates up, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I'm still eating. Don't do this. Like, I don't want to eat alone over here. And it actually, that was like one of the hardest ones for me to get used to, because it's not only that they stack up their plates, because we were in a restaurant, nobody could go anywhere, so we needed to wait for the server to come around. But at other family meals, like when you're finished eating, everybody just leaves, and then I'm always like the last one sitting at the table, just eating my meal, finishing my meal by myself. And I think that's like an American thing, where like if you're like eating with a group of people, when you finish eating, it's like, oh, I'm done, I'm gonna go do something else now. And then I'm just there by myself eating my food, trying to eat quickly so that I don't make people wait around for me. And yeah, so those were my biggest shocks about food. Oh wait, there's one more shock about food. This is point number, oops, I messed up the numbers, guys. This is actually point number 6. We're gonna edit and cut it. So point number 6, one more about food, is that this one I have no explanation for. I don't know why it's like this in one culture or the other, but in America, people, if somebody has food, people ask to have like their food. So it's like, maybe like if I have like, I don't know, if I have some french fries with my meal, everybody would be like, hey, can I have one? Can I try it? Can I try this? Can I try that? And that's like the American thing to do. But I don't feel like this happens in Spain. Like, if somebody has food, actually, like before anybody would even like ask for it, well, nobody asks for it, because if that person is willing to share, like they will offer it to you first. So like anytime, actually in Spain, I really notice this a lot more, is that like if somebody opens up something, the first thing that we do, they do what we do, I do it too now, is like, but less in America, because it's more of like the Spanish version of me that does it. It will like open up a thing of food and like offer it to whoever's around you. Even if you have like 5 of that thing, imagine that you have like 5 orange slices, you will still offer those 5 orange slices to whoever you have around, even if you're not gonna have very much for yourself left at the end. But in America, it's like, if I open an orange and I didn't offer it to you, well, sometimes in Spain, people like don't offer it because they want it for themselves, and like that's okay, it's fine. But like in America, if I don't offer it to you and people are just like, oh, can I have it? Can I have it? I'm just like, I don't know what the difference is, and I don't know why it bothers me so much that it happens. I think that like my American side turns on a lot more when I'm in America, and like makes me like want to like keep everything for myself more. So I don't offer my food. Now, number 7, getting away from food, is clothes. There's so many things about clothes that are so different and just like interesting to look at when you show up in America, because it's like, point number 7 is that nice outfits are reserved, saved away for nice occasions. Like, if it's not a labeled nice occasion, if there was not an invitation to do something, if it's not like something special, sports clothes are going to be what you see all around you. And I just think that it's not bad. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just so different, because in Spain, even if you're gonna go out for groceries, you get dressed. Even if it's just like a pair of jeans and like a cute top, you still get dressed. And this like stemmed all the way from high school. So like obviously my high school is not the exact version of every single high school in America, but people, especially in my school, it was cool to be sporty. I went to school every single day. in sports clothes, whether it was sweatpants and a sweatshirt or sports shorts and a t-shirt, jeans and just like a t-shirt. It was sports clothes. And so it's just like interesting in that it's shocking in like a way to just see like the cultural differences in it. There's nothing wrong with one way or the other. I definitely have become accustomed to getting dressed when I go out, even though like when I'm in Spain, no, even though like when I'm in America, I do put in a lot less effort. I go like, yeah, it's just funny because like my own identity kind of like switches between like the countries. When I'm in Spain, I like fall more into like my Spain routine where I always get dressed, and then when I'm in America, I fall more into my American routine where I never like get dressed up except for if I'm like going out, just because that's the way things are. Number 8, Old Navy flip-flops with every single outfit. This was a thing since I was 10 years old, and it still continues to be a thing. That in the summertime, no matter what you're wearing, you can be wearing a dress, you can be wearing sports clothes, you can be wearing Nike shorts and like being like ready to go out and be sporty, and you will still be wearing Old Navy, which is a brand, flip-flops with everything. And like, it's fine. I actually don't do it. I don't fall into this when I come back. I just see everybody else doing it, and it's just really funny. And it had to be on the list. Number 9 is something that I do, and I know that everybody else does it in America, is buying t-shirts on vacation. I don't care where you went on a vacation. You know that you looked at the t-shirts. You know that you thought about buying it, or you did buy one when you went on vacation in America. I don't care if you went to the beach. I don't care if you went to the Grand Canyon. I don't care if you went to New York. You saw the t-shirts. You wanted a t-shirt. You probably bought a t-shirt if you're American. And this is just so funny to me because like when I'm in Europe and traveling around there, I don't ever think about buying a t-shirt. But you know that when I was on vacation 2 weeks ago with my family, when my dad offered to buy me a t-shirt, I was happy, and I was about that. Like I don't know what happens. It's just the American way, and I think it's hilarious. And number 10. Now we're gonna get a little serious about this one because this one is like a real shock, and this is like the one that is hard for me to deal with when I come back. The political tension in America. Like, I don't want to make this video all serious or anything, but it's a culture thing. The biggest protests that, no, not the biggest ones, I'm not even gonna say that were the biggest ones, just 2 that I can compare for that are going on right now all over the world. Protests about not wanting to wear masks are happening in America. Before when everything was shutting down, there were protests about opening America back up. These 2 things do not happen in Spain because the people get it. People get how to take care of one another. It's suffocating to be here. Like when every single conversation always turns into political conversation. Good. I'm glad. I'm so into politics, and I'm so into changing this world, making sure everybody has their human rights. And so this political tension does not just stay as something that is on the news. This political tension goes into every single conversation of every single day. I know all my Spanish friends are probably like, yeah, like we still have political conversations. But you guys don't ever get to the point of calling names, of making people feel bad, of threatening, of physically hurting people, of physically loudly being racist. Now, Spain, you are not, I don't know how to say, you're not free from racism. It happens there too. But the difference is the tension that it causes and the division that there is between people. The like way that when you go into a supermarket now, you're just like waiting for Karen to freak out, and you're just waiting for something to happen. And the shockingness of like the videos that we see online are real from America, of the people that are treating people so poorly. And it's not a country of understanding, and it's a country right now, especially of division. It has been for a very long time, but finally it's coming to the light, this division, and it's being revealed. It has never been a perfect country, but finally people are stepping up, making it a point in their day to deal with these things that need to be changed. And so obviously the political tension is getting stronger and stronger. And I like don't want to just like go and like retreat to Spain, but part of me is like November's coming up, guys. November's coming up. It may or may not determine in the long run where I choose to stay after I graduate. Next year I graduate. Whatever happens in November may determine if I stay in Spain or if I move back to America, because if things stay the way that they are, this is not a place that I feel comfortable. Depends. Like, it's not it's not the place where I want my kids growing up. If I can come and help make a change in what's going on, I will gladly come back if I know that I'm going to be able to make a change. But other than that, living in this political climate, it's not healthy and it needs to be changed. So that's why it's point number 10. In all, America is pretty shocking. No matter what, whenever you come, things are bigger, people are louder, cars are driven more. Everything that I said is completely true. If you don't agree with me, it's okay. Maybe we grew up in different areas of America. Maybe you had a different experience in America, but that was my experience of coming back. So if you've ever come from America from outside and like you know of a thing that was culturally shocking to you, put it in the comments. Or if you've ever come back to America after traveling abroad and you've experienced the reverse culture shock, also put that in the comments. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe the video because there's so many more videos coming. I'm so sweaty right now, and so I'm gonna go in my car, because how else would I go? I'm not gonna go walking. I'm gonna get in my car, head home, spend the rest of the day with my family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys can visit America sometime, test out what I just said. And Spain, I miss you, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys. Mwah. Ciao.